Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
So you're here.
Yeah, finally.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you are here. Rasmus Stolberg, that's Brauer. Do I pronounce your name well?
Perfect.
Yeah,
Oh,
100% perfect. Yeah.
Cool. So how do you feel?
Good. I mean, yeah.
How was the trip?
It was Wizz Air in the morning. Nice. It's yeah, great.
What would you like public broadcasting to be nowadays, and what do you need as artists from public radio stations? You've been on stage for more than 20 years, so you have the experience.
For me, the public service radios are like still a great place for actual journalism and actually trying to formidle. What's that in English? Actually trying to make people interested in new things, or to make people understand new things, or inspire people. And I think the world to me becomes more and more about mainstream. And in Denmark, the public service radios have this battle always that they do have to do public service radio. They do have to, inspire people and shine a light on the unknown and educate and all these nice ideas. But they are always trapped in this situation that they look at the rate, at the numbers of people listening, and that becomes the highest factor of decision making. And so yeah, I personally love being here today doing a session for Trójka, because we are not a mainstream name. So you guys are taking a chance and you're presenting something that is unknown to the majority of the listeners of the station, and I think that to me is public service. And I'll do my very best to live up to the to the responsibility.
Yeah. I think it's a great question about like using the public radio as almost like a library where you educate people in without it feels like education, but you use your platform to present a wide spectrum of music that is maybe not gonna chart the commercial stations, and sort of be proud that you are a public radio and not try to compete with the commercial stations. I think that's important for public radio to sort of get back to something that for some years, at least in Denmark, and have been looked upon as like being too old school, or like this, like 270s kind of. But a lot of those programs were cool. So
yeah,
and yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like the public service radio in Denmark used to be a place where you would discover new music that would become very meaningful to you, and that is not the case anymore. People go elsewhere for that. And I think that's a shame.
Okay, so now I want to ask you about the tour, because you've been doing it for some time, and now you're starting again, and you're starting in Poland, and you're back to Poland.
Yeah.
We actually did the very first show of the tour in Poland at the Millennium Dogs Against Gravity Festival.
Yeah, last year.
That was kind of like the very first show. It was almost like a test show for us, playing songs from the new album, trying it out for the first time. Yeah. So
what do you like about playing in Poland?
It's a great audience to play music for. It seems always like people that have been following us come to our concerts and are really into but also new people. It always seems like it's a great vibe, mix of like loose and focused.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like there's an appreciation here for what we do and for arts in general.
Yeah,
I like to be here.
And your last album is titled "Things We Have in Common," and what do we have in common when you are touring around Europe or around the world? What do you observe? What do we have in common?
I think to me, the title is very much about the fact that we have much more in common than we do not, and it's that's also what I'm reminded touring. We all want safety and peace and love. It's the same for all of us, but we keep messing it up. Yeah. So I think, there's so many things we have in common.
This time we have together, it's like we're all here now, and we have to deal with the situation of being here now. It's
in Lusthult, where we met in Sweden last year, you organized this huge dinner, Efterklang Sommertreff, where your audience meet. It's very special, and you also played songs from this album, and you passed the box. Did you repeat it, or it was only the last time you passed the box to the audience, asking the audience what do we have in common, and what did you find in this box? Do you remember?
Well, the box is, I think, at your house, Mads, right?
Yeah,
We only did it once. It was all nice messages. It
was a nice. It was. I think we didn't think of what we would use the answers for, so therefore we sort of didn't pick it up again. But it's nice.
Yeah, and we used to have this thing. I think that's also why we did it. We used to have this thing called Efterpost, where we would play in a city, for example, Warsaw, and then we would ask people in the audience if they had messages for the next city we were going to. So if we were going to Berlin the next day, we would ask, if you have a friend coming to the show, or if there's someone you want to pass on a message or just a gift to a random audience member, you can put it in our Efterpost box. And we had a lot of fun, and I'm not sure, but I think there's a Polish artist who actually got really inspired by this idea and is doing it. He does very big shows, but it's a stupid story because I can't remember his name right now.
I don't know.
But if you're out there and you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. It's not like he stole the idea. He got inspired, and he's totally cool to do it. But it was fun times, and the box reminded me of that. But we didn't pick up. We didn't pick up again. There's so many ideas.
Yeah,
always.
But I think it was really cool because you asked your children to decorate it, and it was a collective work. So
exactly. And sometimes that's enough. Maybe you don't need to. Maybe the result is not what people wrote or what comes out of it, but just the fact that we all spend a moment thinking about it and writing it down.
Maybe that's the reason we should try and do it again. Yeah,
true.
I was thinking about doing this tonight because Polish society is so divided, and I think it's important to seek for the things we have in common, and your concert is a great occasion to do that.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Yeah,
you just need to find a box. But
cool, let's do it. And let's talk about the community, because I don't know, but maybe you will confirm that the community is very important to you, and the sense of community, because you do all these projects, connecting people, and the songs and everything you do is kind of related to community.
Yes.
And so where does it come from, and why is it so important to you?
Also a good question. Where does it come from?
I think it's this gradual thing for us, because in the beginning all we cared about was to create something that we really felt was super special and we were very much focused on the music almost, and nothing else.
And we were sort of partly self-described as a collective in the very beginning, and Kasper would be almost standing as far from the front of the stage as possible singing, and it was like the first concert we played, we were like 12 people on stage. So it was more like this unit, and we were in it together rather than doing this like...
And I think the community back then was us.
Yes.
It was our little circle.
Yeah.
And as the years have gone by, this circle has become much bigger, because now we are projecting and trying to get it with all the crowds we meet and play for. And it's it goes up and down in how we look at it, but definitely I would say personally that it's one of the reasons that it's so important for me to and that I'm so happy that I can still do this. To have this feeling, it's based on something we have created, and then to feel that it actually creates a togetherness or a feeling of belonging in a group of people just for 2 hours. I feel that is worth a lot, and I'm super happy to be part of that.
Yeah, I'm also super happy to be a part of that. You invited me for the first time in Sweden.
Yes.
And I loved joining you.
Yeah, you were with us on stage playing clarinet and singing. Yeah, it was wonderful.
Yeah, and you're so open. It's really nice. You're so open-minded, but you also are inviting people to this community, and it's so easy to feel a part of it. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I also think that's why it's genuine, because it's not something we're trying to. It's not a plan, let's make a community. It's the way it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so you agreed.
Yeah. We're great. Yeah.
Yeah, but you are. Yeah. And what are you planning now? You're starting here tonight again, and tomorrow you are going to Bydgoszcz to play at Etniesy Festival. And then where are you going?
Spain and Portugal.
Yeah.
And some
Balkan
countries, and also other countries eastern of Europe. And
it's the last sort of corners of the European tour, and then it's.
We have the shows with Beirut.
Yes,
we're doing. Beirut has invited us to join him for 4 shows in Brussels and London in May, which we look forward to. And then it's summer festivals. We will be back in Poland for the summer. It's not announced yet, but there is a festival, one or two, I can't remember, but definitely one. Yeah.
Are you planning the summer trip this year?
We've been planning a lot, but it turns out it won't happen this year. This is breaking news.
Oh no!
But it will happen next year again. Yeah, we're too busy with the touring and we were working on a place to do it, but it also got too busy. But we have a really nice. We have this amazing place in Sweden where you've been in Loshult, and we would love to do it again there. And we have this other possibility now to also do it on the island where we grew up in Denmark. So there's some really good places to do the Sommertreff in the coming years, but not this year.
Yeah, it will return, but we're just busy touring this year.